Welcome to another thought-provoking journey on our channel. Imagine a world where everything you've ever believed, everything you've been told, and even everything you felt could be questioned. What if the key to understanding life itself was hidden in the way we think, feel, and act? Today, we're diving deep into the revolutionary ideas of René Descartes, the man who taught us to rethink existence itself. You may have heard his famous phrase, "I think, therefore I am." But what does it truly mean? How does it apply to our lives today? And most importantly, how can his timeless wisdom help us navigate the complexities of the modern world? Stay with us as we uncover Descartes' legacy. From his groundbreaking philosophy of independent thought to his profound insights into logic and emotional mastery, we're not just exploring history, we're connecting these ideas to the challenges we face today. Whether it's decision-making, relationships, or finding clarity in a chaotic world. By the end of this video, you'll see how Descartes' teachings can transform the way you live, think, and even feel. But before we dive in, let's make this journey even more impactful. If you're passionate about exploring ideas that challenge the way we see the world, hit that like button to show your support. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content that feeds your mind and fuels your curiosity. Don't forget to share this video with friends who need a fresh perspective. It could spark a life-changing conversation. And if you find value in what we're creating, consider sending a super thanks or donating to support our work. Together, we're building a community that thrives on deep thinking and meaningful learning. René Descartes, often hailed as the father of modern philosophy, was a man whose intellect and groundbreaking ideas shaped the way we understand human thought and reason. While many know him for the phrase Cogito, ergo sum, I think, therefore I am, this iconic statement is merely the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the profound contributions Descartes made to philosophy and science. His journey from a young, curious wanderer to a revolutionary thinker demonstrates the power of independent thought and unwavering commitment to rationality. Descartes was born in 1596 in La Haye, France, into a moderately affluent family. His early education at the Jesuit College of La Flèche instilled in him a deep respect for classical knowledge, but it also sowed the seeds of his skepticism. While he excelled in his studies, Descartes found himself questioning the foundations of the knowledge he was being taught. The rigidity of Aristotelian philosophy and the reliance on established dogmas did not sit well with his inquisitive mind. This dissatisfaction became a defining feature of his intellectual life and motivated him to seek answers beyond the confines of traditional education. After completing his formal education, Descartes embarked on a series of travels across Europe. His time in the Dutch Republic, Germany, and Italy exposed him to diverse perspectives and experiences that profoundly influenced his thinking. Unlike many philosophers of his time, who often cloistered themselves in academic institutions, Descartes embraced the world as his classroom. He believed that wisdom could be gleaned not only from books, but also from observing the world, engaging with people of different walks of life, and reflecting deeply on his own experiences. This belief is encapsulated in his statement from Discourse on the Method, where he describes how he resolved to seek knowledge only from himself and the great book of the world. One of the most fascinating anecdotes from Descartes' life occurred during the winter of 1619, while he was stationed with the military in Germany. Seeking refuge from the biting cold, he locked himself in a heated room, a small, stove-heated space, and spent the entire day meditating. It was during this time of deep introspection that the foundations of his philosophical system began to take shape. The image of Descartes, wrapped in solitude and warmth, contemplating the nature of existence, has become a powerful symbol of his commitment to the life of the mind. This moment of clarity led him to formulate the principles that would later become central to his philosophical works. Descartes' life was marked by an unwavering dedication to questioning and reasoning. He saw doubt not as a weakness, but as a necessary tool for uncovering truth. His relentless skepticism led him to challenge long-held assumptions and traditions. For instance, while the majority of philosophers in his era still leaned heavily on theological arguments to support their claims, Descartes sought to build a system of knowledge grounded entirely in reason and evidence. He believed that human beings possessed the capacity to discover truth independently, without reliance on external authorities or dogmas. In his quest for certainty, Descartes developed what he called the method of doubt, a systematic approach to examining and breaking down complex problems. This method involved questioning everything, even the most seemingly self-evident truths, to identify those ideas that could withstand the scrutiny of reason. His method was revolutionary in its simplicity and power. By reducing problems into smaller, more manageable components, he was able to analyze them with greater clarity and precision. This approach is akin to how a modern scientist might deconstruct a complex hypothesis into testable elements, or how an engineer might troubleshoot a system by isolating its individual components. Descartes' emphasis on introspection and individual reasoning was radical for its time. It ran counter to the prevailing reliance on tradition and collective wisdom. Yet, his ideas resonated with those who sought intellectual freedom and personal agency. The leaders of the French Revolution, for instance, admired Descartes for his insistence on grounding ideas in reason and experience rather than authority. His philosophy empowered individuals to think for themselves, to question established norms, and to trust in their own capacity for understanding. One might draw parallels between Descartes' life and the experiences of modern innovators and thinkers. Consider Steve Jobs, who, like Descartes, challenged the status quo and reshaped the world with his ideas. Jobs famously dropped out of college and pursued his education through personal exploration, studying calligraphy and Zen philosophy, seemingly unrelated subjects that later influenced his design ethos at Apple. Both Descartes and Jobs exemplify the power of unconventional thinking and the courage to chart one's own course. Descartes' decision to live in the Dutch Republic for much of his adult life further highlights his commitment to intellectual independence. He believed that the mercantile and practical mindset of the Dutch people would provide a conducive environment for his work. While he faced challenges, including frequent relocations to avoid political and religious scrutiny, his time in the Netherlands was among the most productive periods of his life. Here, he wrote many of his major works, including Discourse on the Method and Meditations on First Philosophy. The story of Descartes' life is not just about philosophical abstractions. It is a testament to the transformative power of questioning, introspection, and perseverance. His willingness to confront uncertainty and seek clarity in a chaotic world offers a timeless lesson for anyone grappling with the complexities of modern life. Whether we are scientists unraveling the mysteries of the universe, entrepreneurs navigating uncharted markets, or individuals striving to make sense of our own existence, Descartes' journey reminds us of the importance of critical thinking and self-reflection. René Descartes stands as a beacon of intellectual courage and innovation. His life and work challenge us to look beyond the surface, to question what we take for granted, and to trust in the power of reason to guide us toward truth. René Descartes' method of doubt stands as one of the most transformative ideas in the history of philosophy, reshaping how humanity approaches knowledge and truth. This approach, which calls for systematically questioning every belief to determine its validity, reflects a profound understanding of human fallibility and the complexity of reality. Descartes' commitment to doubt was not born out of cynicism, but from a desire to build a foundation for knowledge that could withstand even the most rigorous scrutiny. The essence of the method of doubt lies in its radical simplicity. Descartes began by asking himself if he could truly trust the knowledge he possessed. He recognized that much of what people consider to be true is often based on assumptions, inherited beliefs, or the testimony of others, none of which guarantee certainty. This realization led him to adopt a systematic process, to doubt everything that could conceivably be doubted, and to accept only those truths that were absolutely indubitable. This method was not about discarding knowledge entirely, but about cleansing the mind of uncertainty and error, leaving behind a solid core of truth. A modern analogy might be seen in the work of a software engineer debugging a complex system. When faced with a malfunctioning program, the engineer doesn't assume that any part of the code is inherently correct. Instead, they systematically test each section, isolating variables and identifying potential errors. Descartes' method of doubt operates in much the same way. He treated his own beliefs as a kind of code that needed to be debugged, rigorously examining each idea to ensure it was free of flaws. By approaching knowledge this way, Descartes paved the way for a more disciplined and analytical way of thinking. One of the most illustrative aspects of Descartes' philosophy is his famous metaphor of the barrel of apples. Imagine a barrel containing a mix of good and bad apples. If you want to preserve the good apples, you must first empty the barrel and inspect each apple individually, discarding the rotten ones to prevent them from contaminating the rest. For Descartes, this process symbolized the need to examine each belief critically, ensuring that only those free from doubt would be retained. This metaphor resonates in many fields today, from scientific research to decision-making in everyday life. Take, for example, a modern scientist conducting experiments. In the pursuit of truth, a scientist does not assume the validity of their hypothesis simply because it aligns with existing theories or popular opinion. Instead, they rigorously test their ideas through controlled experiments, ensuring that the results are reproducible and free from bias. This commitment to empirical evidence mirrors Descartes' insistence on grounding knowledge in certainty rather than assumption. Another relatable example can be found in the world of business. Imagine a project manager tasked with identifying the cause of declining sales in a company. Instead of jumping to conclusions based on initial impressions or unverified data, the manager might adopt a Cartesian approach, breaking the problem into smaller components. Are the products meeting customer needs? Is the marketing strategy effective? Are there issues with distribution? By systematically analyzing each factor, the manager can identify the root cause and implement targeted solutions. This methodical approach reflects the enduring relevance of Descartes' philosophy in problem-solving across diverse domains. Descartes' method of doubt also has profound implications for personal growth and self-awareness. Consider how often people accept beliefs about themselves or the world without questioning their validity. Someone might believe, for instance, that they are incapable of learning a new skill because of a past failure. Applying Descartes' method of doubt, they could examine this belief critically. Is this assumption based on evidence or on a single experience? What steps could they take to test this belief? By challenging unexamined assumptions, individuals can free themselves from limiting beliefs and discover new possibilities. A striking aspect of Descartes' method is its emphasis on breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable parts. This approach, which he called analysis, allows for greater clarity and precision in understanding. In today's fast-paced world, where individuals are often overwhelmed by the sheer complexity of challenges they face, this principle remains profoundly relevant. For instance, a student preparing for a major exam might feel paralyzed by the volume of material to study. By dividing the content into smaller sections, chapters, topics, or key concepts, they can tackle each part systematically, building confidence and understanding along the way. This method of analytical thinking is not limited to academic or professional contexts. It also applies to navigating everyday dilemmas. Imagine a family planning a vacation. Instead of being overwhelmed by the logistics of organizing transportation, accommodations, and activities, they could adopt Descartes' approach, addressing each aspect step by step. By breaking the process into smaller tasks, they can make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary stress. This simple yet powerful strategy exemplifies the practicality of Descartes' philosophy in daily life. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the method of doubt is its universality. Descartes believed that anyone, regardless of their background or education, could apply this method to achieve greater clarity and understanding. His philosophy was not confined to the elite, but was meant to empower individuals to think for themselves. This democratization of knowledge was revolutionary in its time and remains deeply relevant in an age where misinformation and manipulation are pervasive. However, Descartes' method of doubt is not without its challenges. The process of questioning deeply held beliefs can be unsettling, even disorienting. It requires a willingness to confront uncertainty and to let go of comfortable assumptions. Yet, as Descartes demonstrated, this process is essential for achieving genuine understanding. By embracing doubt as a tool rather than a threat, individuals can develop a more resilient and informed perspective. In many ways, Descartes' philosophy anticipates the critical thinking skills that are emphasized in education today. Students are encouraged to question sources, evaluate evidence, and think independently, skills that are essential for navigating a complex and rapidly changing world. Descartes' method of doubt serves as a reminder that true learning begins not with certainty, but with curiosity and a willingness to explore. Descartes' commitment to doubt also challenges the notion of blind faith in authority. In his time, much of knowledge was dictated by tradition, religious dogma, or the influence of powerful institutions. Descartes argued that true knowledge must be grounded in reason and personal experience rather than unquestioned authority. This principle has profound implications for modern society, where individuals are bombarded with information from countless sources. By adopting a Cartesian mindset, people can navigate this information landscape with greater discernment, separating fact from fiction and making informed choices. The enduring relevance of Descartes' method of doubt lies in its ability to empower individuals to take control of their own thinking. Whether applied to academic pursuits, professional challenges, or personal growth, this approach offers a path to greater clarity and understanding. By questioning assumptions, breaking down complex problems, and grounding knowledge in reason, Descartes' philosophy provides a timeless framework for navigating the uncertainties of life. René Descartes' assertion, Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am, stands as one of the most profound and recognizable statements in the history of philosophy. This deceptively simple phrase carries layers of meaning that extend far beyond its surface. It represents a turning point in philosophical thought, a declaration of the self's undeniable existence grounded in the act of thinking itself. To understand its depth, we must examine how Descartes arrived at this conclusion, the philosophical context surrounding it, and its enduring relevance in a world increasingly shaped by complex questions about identity, consciousness, and artificial intelligence. Descartes' journey to Cogito ergo sum began with his method of doubt, a process of systematically questioning every belief to strip away uncertainty. He sought to find a foundation of knowledge so secure that it could not be doubted. Descartes questioned everything: the evidence of his senses, the reality of the external world, and even his own memories. He recognized that our senses can deceive us. Objects can appear distorted in water, distant sounds can mislead, and dreams can feel as real as waking life. He even entertained the possibility of a malicious demon deceiving him into believing in a reality that didn't exist. Amid this sea of doubt, one thing stood firm: the very act of doubting itself. To doubt, he reasoned, required thinking, and to think required existence. Thus, even in the face of the most radical skepticism, the statement, I think, therefore I am, emerged as an indubitable truth. This realization was groundbreaking because it shifted the focus of philosophy from external authorities and objective truths to the subjective experience of the individual. It declared that self-awareness, the ability to think and recognize one's existence, was the fundamental proof of being. Descartes' insight provided a new foundation for knowledge, one that began with the self and expanded outward. It marked a departure from traditional scholasticism, which often relied on theological explanations, and laid the groundwork for modern philosophy, science, and psychology. To fully appreciate the impact of Cogito ergo sum, it's helpful to consider its implications in contemporary contexts. One fascinating application is in the ongoing debate about artificial intelligence. Can a machine that processes information and mimics human behavior truly exist in the Cartesian sense if it lacks self-awareness? While advanced AI systems like ChatGPT or autonomous vehicles can perform tasks with remarkable efficiency, they do not think in the sense that Descartes described. They lack the subjective experience, self-reflection, and conscious doubt that characterize human thought. This distinction highlights the unique nature of human cognition and the importance of introspection in defining our existence. The question of self-awareness and existence also resonates in personal and existential crises. Imagine a fictional character named Alex, a successful professional who suddenly loses their job, friends, and sense of purpose. Stripped of external markers of identity, Alex feels lost and questions their own worth. Through a process of reflection, Alex begins to reconnect with the one constant amidst the turmoil: their ability to think, question, and imagine. By embracing this core aspect of their being, Alex discovers a renewed sense of purpose, realizing that their value is not tied to external achievements, but to the inherent capacity for thought and self-awareness. This narrative mirrors the essence of Cogito ergo sum, as a tool for navigating uncertainty and rebuilding identity from within. Descartes' insight also encourages us to confront the biases and assumptions that often shape our understanding of ourselves and the world. For instance, consider the pervasive influence of social media, where curated images and opinions can distort perceptions of reality. By grounding ourselves in self-awareness and critical thinking, we can resist the pressures to conform to these external narratives and cultivate a more authentic sense of self. Descartes' philosophy reminds us that our existence is not validated by external approval, but by the act of thinking itself. The implications of Cogito ergo sum extend beyond individual identity to the broader human condition. It challenges us to consider what it means to exist and how we define consciousness. Philosophers and scientists continue to grapple with these questions, exploring topics such as the nature of the mind, the relationship between body and soul, and the origins of self-awareness. Descartes' dualism, which posits a distinction between mind and body, remains a subject of debate, influencing fields as diverse as neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and metaphysics. The phrase, "I think, therefore I am," also carries profound ethical implications. If self-awareness is the foundation of existence, it invites us to recognize and respect the inherent dignity of other thinking beings. This principle can inform discussions about human rights, animal welfare, and the ethical treatment of sentient machines. It challenges us to consider the responsibilities that come with self-awareness, including the pursuit of knowledge, the cultivation of empathy, and the defense of individual freedom. In everyday life, the philosophy of Cogito ergo sum offers a practical framework for navigating challenges and uncertainties. It reminds us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, to question assumptions, and to embrace the power of introspection. Whether we are making decisions, seeking purpose, or coping with adversity, the act of thinking provides a stable foundation on which to build. Descartes' insight encourages us to take ownership of our thoughts and actions, to approach life with curiosity and courage, and to find meaning in the simple yet profound realization of our own existence. René Descartes' declaration, Cogito ergo sum, continues to resonate because it speaks to the universal human experience of doubt, reflection, and self-discovery. It challenges us to embrace the uncertainty of life with the confidence that our ability to think and question is itself a testament to our existence. Through this lens, Descartes' philosophy becomes more than an abstract idea. It becomes a guide for living, a reminder that even in the face of doubt, we possess the power to affirm our own being. René Descartes believed deeply in the power of personal experience and independent thought as the most reliable sources of knowledge, rather than relying solely on books, traditions, or the teachings of authority figures. He emphasized the importance of learning directly from the world and reflecting on one's own observations and experiences. This perspective, laid out in Discourse on the Method, challenges the passive acceptance of established ideas and encourages individuals to actively engage with the world around them to uncover deeper truths. In Discourse on the Method, Descartes recounts how he chose to abandon the study of traditional academic disciplines and set out on his own path of inquiry. He believed that much of what he had been taught in school was either incomplete or built on shaky foundations. Instead of relying on second-hand knowledge, he resolved to learn directly from the great book of the world. This decision led him to travel extensively, observing different cultures, interacting with people from all walks of life, and reflecting on his experiences. Through this process, Descartes developed a more holistic understanding of human nature and the principles governing the world. The idea of learning through personal experience resonates strongly in today's world, where information is readily available but not always reliable. Consider the vast amount of data accessible through the internet. While books, articles, and online courses can provide valuable insights, They often lack the nuance and depth that come from first-hand experience. For instance, reading about cultural differences in a textbook can provide theoretical knowledge, but traveling to a new country and immersing oneself in its culture offers a much richer and more nuanced understanding. Descartes' philosophy reminds us that real learning often occurs when we step out of our comfort zones and engage with the world directly. One relatable example of this principle is the story of a young entrepreneur who decides to start a business. Instead of solely relying on academic theories about business management, they dive into the practical realities of running a company. They learn by facing challenges, making mistakes, and adapting to new circumstances. This hands-on approach, though fraught with risks, often leads to a deeper and more meaningful understanding of what it takes to succeed. Descartes' emphasis on personal experience aligns perfectly with this mindset, encouraging individuals to take ownership of their learning journey and trust their own observations and insights. The value of experiential learning is particularly evident in the realm of personal growth and self-discovery. Imagine someone who struggles with public speaking. They might read books about communication techniques, watch videos of successful speakers, and attend workshops. But the real breakthrough often comes when they step onto a stage and confront their fears directly. Through practice, reflection, and incremental improvement, they gain confidence and skill. This process mirrors Descartes' belief in the importance of self-reflection and introspection. By engaging with challenges and learning from their own experiences, individuals can achieve a level of understanding and growth that theoretical knowledge alone cannot provide. Descartes' philosophy also highlights the importance of questioning conventional wisdom and thinking critically about accepted ideas. In an age where misinformation and bias are pervasive, this lesson is more relevant than ever. For instance, many people base their opinions on news headlines or social media posts without digging deeper to verify the facts or understand the context. Descartes' approach encourages us to go beyond surface-level information and examine the evidence critically. By doing so, we can form more informed opinions and make better decisions. A contemporary example of this principle can be seen in the field of scientific research. Scientists often begin with hypotheses based on existing knowledge, but true breakthroughs occur when they challenge these assumptions and explore uncharted territory. Consider the development of vaccines, where researchers must conduct extensive experiments, analyze data, and adapt their methods based on what they observe. This iterative process of learning from experience and refining ideas exemplifies Descartes' philosophy in action. Another compelling aspect of Descartes' perspective is his recognition of the diversity of human experiences and the value of learning from others. While he advocated for independent thought, he also understood the importance of engaging with different perspectives. His travels allowed him to interact with people from various backgrounds, each offering unique insights and ways of understanding the world. This openness to diversity is a crucial lesson for modern society, where collaboration and cross-cultural understanding are essential for addressing global challenges. For example, in a multicultural workplace, employees who actively seek to understand their colleagues' perspectives often achieve better outcomes than those who rely solely on their own assumptions. By listening, observing, and reflecting on their interactions, they can navigate complex dynamics and foster a more inclusive and productive environment. Descartes' emphasis on learning from experience reminds us that growth often comes from embracing differences and being willing to challenge our own viewpoints. The idea of self-directed learning also ties into the concept of resilience. Descartes' decision to forge his own path required courage and determination, qualities that are equally important in today's fast-changing world. Individuals who take charge of their own learning and adapt to new circumstances are better equipped to thrive in uncertain environments. Consider the example of someone who loses their job due to economic changes. Instead of dwelling on their loss, they might use the opportunity to acquire new skills, explore different career paths, or start their own business. By taking initiative and learning from their experiences, they can turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. Descartes' philosophy ultimately challenges us to take responsibility for our own understanding of the world. It encourages us to move beyond passive consumption of information and actively engage with our experiences. reflect on our observations, and trust our own reasoning. In a world filled with distractions and external pressures, this message is a powerful reminder of the importance of self-awareness and independent thought. The enduring relevance of Descartes' ideas lies in their ability to inspire individuals to think critically, learn from their experiences, and pursue truth with curiosity and determination. Whether applied to personal growth, professional development, or societal challenges, his philosophy offers a timeless framework for navigating the complexities of life. By embracing Descartes' approach, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world, ultimately leading to more meaningful and fulfilling lives. René Descartes, often regarded as a philosopher of reason and logic, also delved deeply into the world of human emotions. His work Passions of the Soul sheds light on the nature of emotions, their causes, and their effects on human behavior, contrary to the Stoic view of his time, which advocated for suppressing emotions. Descartes believed that emotions, or passions as he called them, are integral to human life. He argued that rather than attempting to eliminate them, one should strive to understand and control them, as this is the key to living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Descartes identified 6 fundamental passions: wonder, love, hatred, desire, joy, and sadness. These are the building blocks of all emotional experiences, each playing a unique role in shaping human behavior and interactions. Wonder, for instance, is the passion that drives curiosity and learning. It compels individuals to explore the unknown, whether it's a scientist conducting experiments or a child discovering the world for the first time. Love, on the other hand, fosters connections and bonds, motivating people to care for one another and build relationships. Hatred, while often perceived negatively, serves a protective function, helping individuals avoid harm or reject what threatens their well-being. Desire is the passion that propels action, urging individuals to pursue goals and ambitions. It's the driving force behind innovation, achievement, and progress. Joy and sadness, the 2 most contrasting passions, provide balance. Joy reinforces positive experiences, encouraging individuals to seek happiness and fulfillment, while sadness offers an opportunity for reflection and growth, helping people process loss or disappointment. Understanding these passions, according to Descartes, is crucial for achieving self-mastery. He believed that by recognizing the origins and effects of emotions, individuals could learn to guide them rather than be controlled by them. This perspective aligns with modern psychological approaches, which emphasize the importance of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence involves the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions, as well as empathize with the emotions of others. This skill is essential for building healthy relationships, making sound decisions, and maintaining mental well-being. Take, for example, the workplace, where emotions often run high due to stress, deadlines, and interpersonal conflicts. Imagine a manager who feels overwhelmed by frustration after a team fails to meet a critical deadline. Instead of reacting impulsively, perhaps by blaming the team or making rash decisions, the manager takes a step back to analyze their emotions. They recognize that their frustration stems from unmet expectations and the fear of disappointing stakeholders. By identifying these underlying causes, the manager can address the situation constructively, perhaps by discussing ways to improve team performance or reevaluating project timelines. This ability to regulate emotions not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also fosters a more productive and supportive work environment. Similarly, consider a personal relationship where misunderstandings often lead to arguments. A couple might struggle with recurring disagreements about finances, leading to feelings of resentment and sadness. By applying Descartes' philosophy, they could work to identify the root causes of these emotions, perhaps insecurity about financial stability or differing priorities. Through open communication and mutual understanding, they can address these concerns and strengthen their bond. This approach demonstrates how controlling emotions, rather than suppressing them, can lead to healthier and more meaningful relationships. Descartes' insights into the role of passions also highlight their connection to virtue. He believed that emotions are not inherently good or bad. Their value depends on how they are directed. For instance, love can inspire acts of kindness and generosity, but it can also lead to jealousy or obsession if left unchecked. Similarly, anger can motivate individuals to confront injustice, but it can also result in destructive behavior if not controlled. The discipline of virtue, as Descartes called it, involves cultivating the ability to channel emotions in ways that align with ethical principles and personal values. This idea is particularly relevant in the context of leadership. A great leader is not one who suppresses their emotions, but one who uses them effectively to inspire and guide others. Consider historical figures like Martin Luther King Jr., whose passion for justice and equality fueled a movement that changed the course of history. His ability to channel his emotions into a clear and powerful vision demonstrates the transformative potential of mastering one's passions. On a more personal level, Descartes' philosophy can help individuals navigate the challenges of modern life, where emotional stress is often heightened by social pressures and technological distractions. For example, social media frequently amplifies feelings of inadequacy, as people compare themselves to curated images of others' seemingly perfect lives. By applying Descartes' principles, individuals can recognize these feelings of envy or sadness as natural responses to external stimuli. Instead of allowing these emotions to dominate their self-perception, they can reframe their perspective, focusing on their own achievements and values rather than external comparisons. The ability to manage emotions is also crucial during times of crisis. Imagine a person facing the loss of a job, a situation that often triggers feelings of fear, sadness, and self-doubt. By understanding these emotions and their impact, the individual can take proactive steps to cope and rebuild. They might seek support from friends and family, develop a plan for finding new opportunities, and focus on personal growth. This process mirrors Descartes' belief in the potential for self-improvement through the disciplined management of passions. Another example can be drawn from the realm of sports, where athletes frequently confront intense emotional pressures. A tennis player, for instance, might feel a surge of anxiety during a high-stakes match. If they allow this emotion to overwhelm them, it could impair their performance. However, by recognizing the anxiety as a natural response to the situation, they can use it as a source of motivation and focus. Techniques like mindfulness and visualization, which are often used by athletes to regulate emotions, reflect the same principles Descartes advocated centuries ago. Descartes' philosophy also offers valuable insights into the relationship between emotions and mental health. He understood that unchecked passions could lead to psychological distress, but he also believed in the human capacity for self-mastery. This optimism is echoed in modern therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helps individuals identify and reframe negative thought patterns. By developing greater awareness of their emotions and learning to respond constructively, people can improve their mental well-being and lead more fulfilling lives. Ultimately, Descartes' exploration of passions reminds us that emotions are an integral part of what it means to be human. They enrich our experiences, connect us to others, and drive us to achieve our goals. However, they also require careful management to ensure they serve our best interests. By understanding the nature of emotions and developing the discipline to guide them, we can cultivate a life that is not only virtuous but also deeply satisfying. Descartes' insights continue to resonate because they address the timeless challenge of balancing reason and emotion, offering a path to greater self-awareness and personal growth. René Descartes' legacy extends far beyond his philosophical works. It offers a way of thinking and living that continues to resonate in modern society. At its core, Descartes' philosophy emphasizes independent thought, logical analysis, and emotional mastery as essential tools for navigating life's complexities. These principles, while rooted in the 17th century, remain profoundly relevant, providing a framework for personal growth, critical thinking, and meaningful engagement with the world. Descartes championed the idea of independent thought, a concept that challenged the norms of his time and laid the groundwork for modern intellectual inquiry. He rejected blind adherence to authority and tradition, urging individuals to question what they were taught and to rely on their own reasoning instead. This emphasis on self-reliance is encapsulated in his famous method of doubt, where he systematically questioned all his beliefs to identify those that could be accepted as true beyond any doubt. By doing so, he not only reshaped the philosophical landscape, but also empowered individuals to trust their own ability to reason. In today's information-saturated world, where misinformation and superficial narratives abound, Descartes' call for independent thought is more critical than ever. Consider the prevalence of social media, where algorithms often reinforce existing biases and discourage critical thinking. People are frequently exposed to echo chambers that validate their opinions without challenging them. Descartes' philosophy reminds us to break free from these cycles by questioning the information we consume, seeking diverse perspectives, and engaging in thoughtful reflection. This approach can help individuals make more informed decisions, whether they are evaluating political arguments, interpreting scientific claims, or simply navigating everyday choices. The principle of logical analysis, central to Descartes' philosophy, provides another valuable tool for contemporary life. His insistence on breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable parts is a method widely used in disciplines such as science, engineering, and business. For example, when a software engineer encounters a bug in a program, they often follow a Cartesian approach, isolating different components of the code to identify the root cause. Similarly, a business leader faced with declining sales might analyze various factors such as market trends, customer behavior, and operational inefficiencies to develop targeted solutions. Descartes' method offers a structured way to approach challenges, fostering clarity and precision in problem solving. Beyond its practical applications, logical analysis also has profound implications for personal growth. Imagine someone struggling with anxiety about a major life decision, such as changing careers or moving to a new city. By adopting Descartes' approach, they could break down their fears into specific concerns: financial stability, job prospects, social connections, and address each one systematically. This process not only reduces the overwhelming nature of the decision, but also enables a more rational and confident course of action. Descartes' emphasis on logic encourages individuals to approach their fears and uncertainties with a sense of control and purpose. Another cornerstone of Descartes' philosophy is the mastery of emotions, which he explored in his work Passions of the Soul. Descartes recognized that emotions play a significant role in shaping human behavior and decision-making. However, he argued that individuals must learn to understand and regulate their emotions to live virtuous and fulfilling lives. This idea resonates with modern concepts of emotional intelligence, which emphasize the importance of recognizing, understanding, and managing emotions in oneself and others. Consider a manager dealing with a stressful work environment. If they allow their frustration to dominate their behavior, it could lead to poor decision-making and strained relationships with their team. By applying Descartes' philosophy, the manager might take time to reflect on the sources of their frustration, acknowledge its impact, and channel it into constructive action, such as reorganizing workflows or addressing team concerns. This ability to regulate emotions not only enhances individual well-being, but also fosters more effective and compassionate leadership. The mastery of emotions also has profound implications for personal relationships. Imagine a couple experiencing recurring conflicts over household responsibilities. Instead of letting resentment build, they could apply Descartes' principles by identifying the emotions at play: frustration, guilt, or feeling unappreciated, and discussing them openly. Through this process, they can develop a deeper understanding of each other's perspectives and find mutually agreeable solutions. Descartes' insights into emotional regulation remind us that understanding and guiding our passions can strengthen our connections with others and contribute to a more harmonious life. Descartes' philosophy also challenges individuals to take responsibility for their own growth and understanding. He believed that the pursuit of truth and self-knowledge required active engagement and effort. This principle is particularly relevant in an era where passive consumption of information often replaces critical thinking and reflection. For example, instead of passively scrolling through social media or relying solely on curated content, Individuals can cultivate habits of intentional learning, such as reading diverse sources, engaging in meaningful conversations, or pursuing creative projects. Descartes' call to actively engage with the world encourages us to be more deliberate in how we spend our time and energy. The enduring relevance of Descartes' philosophy lies in its universality. His principles of independent thought, logical analysis, and emotional mastery are not confined to academia or abstract intellectual pursuits. They can be applied to a wide range of real-world situations, from personal challenges to global issues. For instance, climate change is a complex problem that requires both individual and collective action. By adopting a Cartesian mindset, individuals can critically evaluate the information they receive, make informed choices about their consumption habits, and advocate for evidence-based policies. Descartes' philosophy provides a framework for addressing such challenges with clarity and purpose. Descartes' legacy also invites us to reflect on the nature of human existence and the pursuit of meaning. His declaration, Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am, underscores the importance of self-awareness and introspection in defining our place in the world. In a fast-paced society that often prioritizes productivity and external achievements, Descartes' philosophy reminds us to pause, reflect, and reconnect with our inner selves, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in quiet contemplation. This practice can help us gain clarity, find balance, and cultivate a deeper sense of purpose. In many ways, Descartes' philosophy offers a timeless guide for navigating the complexities of modern life. It encourages us to think critically, act intentionally, and engage with the world in meaningful ways. By embracing his principles, we can develop the skills and perspectives needed to overcome challenges, build fulfilling relationships, and contribute to the betterment of society. Descartes' ideas remind us that the pursuit of truth and understanding is not a destination but an ongoing journey, one that requires curiosity, courage, and a commitment to growth. Thank you for joining us on this intellectual journey through the life and legacy of René Descartes. We've explored how his philosophy of independent thought, logical analysis, and emotional mastery continues to resonate in our world today. From questioning assumptions to mastering our passions, Descartes reminds us that the pursuit of truth and self-understanding is an active, ongoing process. His famous words, I think, therefore I am, challenge us to embrace doubt, seek clarity, and ultimately, define our existence on our own terms. So, what do you think? How can Descartes' ideas shape the way you approach your own life? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you and learning together as a community. If this video inspired you, make sure to hit that like button and share it with others who might find it valuable. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into topics that matter. If you'd like to support the channel and help us continue creating thoughtful content, consider sending a super thanks or donating. Every bit of your support helps us bring you more videos that challenge, inspire, and educate. Thank you for being part of our growing community. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and as Descartes would say, keep thinking.